Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more Plague Inc. Evolved Custom Scenarios. Today we have a request for something called Maniacal Mushroom... Oh, I am terrible at typing today. Mushroom Mines. And it doesn't pop up immediately. Of course it frickin' doesn't, because that would be too darn easy. Gosh dang it. There it is. 4 stars by Wetplur. One day, a long while after humans nearly went extinct from a Nurex worm, one of the few surviving worms in Tasmania ate a strange mushroom and tripped. Brrr. The mushroom made the worm into its host. And soon the worm... Wow, so wait, the mushroom is hijacking the Nurex worm, which hijacks the humans? That's funny. And soon the worm seemed to be a different creature entirely. Some kind of mushroom worm. It went on to infect its first human, take control of their mind, and give itself a name. Of course, humanity is very different from when the Nurex worm struck in 2016. Countries were created and destroyed. Imperialism has made a comeback. Okay, traveling by water is mostly obsolete outside of poor nations, and air travel seems to be the future. Thankfully, or maybe not for you, scientists found a way to reverse the effects of global warming so the temperature is pretty normal. In other words, the world is looking pretty good. Let's wreck it. Can you finish what the Nurex worm started, or will you be just some history lesson eventually forgotten to time? Custom change names of countries. That's fine. That's the first scenario. Then big thanks to Pravus Gaming. Hey! What's up, buddy? Got more popular than I was expecting. Yep. Well, you're going to get even more popular now. I don't mean to brag or anything, but you know a few thousand people are going to see this now, right? Nurex worm, metabolic jump, genetic mimic, terrorcyte, extremophile, and symptostasis, normal difficulty, and mushroom worm. Just a quick heads up, the world has changed a lot since the last Nurex worm outbreak. Empires rose and democracy is on its last feet. No! Be sure to check out the names of the countries, as many of them are changed, and it could get confusing if you don't. Alright, if you don't read the description, you should know that you start off in Australia. If you haven't read it yet, please do. I spent at least 10 minutes on it. 10 minutes? 10 whole minutes? Gosh! That's more time than almost everyone I've ever met that made me a scenario. Well done, actually. Your grammar is fantastic. I think you spelled eventually wrong at some point, but that's it. United States is called the Divided American States. Ah, darn it. A house divided and all that nonsense. Only 42 million people left. The Canadian Empire? No. Mexico, still Mexico. Brazilian, Honduras. Basically, Brazil conquered the entirety of Central and South America. Cuba, still Cuba. Morocco, still Morocco. Canada conquered Greenland and Iceland. Swedish England? No. What is this, a paradox game? They always have favoritism for Sweden. Disputed Finland. The Soviet Union has apparently returned. Estonia conquered a lot. Ethiopia conquered a lot. Brazil actually made it into Africa for some reason. The Saudi Empire? China, still China. Okay. Indonesia and Australia and New Zealand. Okay, a few empires here and there. Mainly in Europe and in North America and Brazil, but that's fine. Starting in Australia, I'm not used to doing that. It is considered poor. Normally it is not, which means that the author not only went through and renamed several countries, but actually went through and changed the stats and the population of all the different countries as well to fit the theme. Already I am impressed by the amount of effort that has been put into this scenario. Nurex worm has emerged. Huzzah! Transmissions. We start off with swimming spores. Spores are able to quickly move through water and can easily get onto ships, though this is less useful nowadays because flying is the way of the future. Lighter spores. Infectivity, air transmission, and arid infectivity. Bird spores. The spores catch a ride on a bird. Infects a random country, as well as giving slight air transmission and rural infectivity, and fungus vacation. The infected need vacations. Being a host for a mushroom worm is tough work, so they hijack planes. Of course they do. They couldn't just buy a ticket like everyone else. They gotta hijack the planes. So the mushroom hijacks a worm, which hijacks a human, which hijacks a plane. There's a lot of hijacking going on here. To get off to a far location and relax gives us the Trojan Plains. Very useful, we'll come back to that. We start off with neural breach. We also have calming mushrooms. Small calming mushrooms grow in the brain, making the host less aware of the worm in their brain and generally reducing anxiety. Man, I could use that right about now. Stronger mushrooms, granting increased control over the hosts, and clutter. Mushrooms clutter up the mind a bit, making it harder to focus on complex tasks and giving mild headaches. Abilities. We have snow spores and solar spores, so regular cold and heat transmission resistance, drug resistance, genetic hardening, shuffle, and unstable fungus. The DNA becomes more unstable, increasing random mutations, which is basically just the feature you get for playing a virus type. So the main main feature of the Nurex worm, Trojan Plains, is in transmission instead. Got it. Let's go for the lighter spore so I have at least a little bit of air transmission, because that could end up being pretty useful. I do see there are not a lot of ports, but there are airplanes freaking everywhere. Almost every country seems to have them. We'll probably want to save up for even lighter spores at only 12 DNA, because that seems like a pretty good bargain for such an effective transmission vector. So yeah, let's go ahead and pick that up instead. That leads to hovering spores. They are small and light enough to swim through the air, making it look as if they are hovering, greatly increasing infectivity and air transmission. I mean, yeah, why not, right? We'll save it for the Trojan Plains a little bit later. But for now, strikes me as a winner, especially since Australia is also an arid country, so not only are we increasing our long-term spread capability, but we're also increasing our infectivity in our host country, which is always a wonderful double whammy to gain. All right, so let's see. We have those. Reducing severity could be nice, but instead I think I'd actually rather increase it so I can get more DNA when we eventually start spreading throughout the world. At least that is the idea. I don't know what the population is of Australia. How did India turn out? It doesn't tell you off the bat what their population is. It does when you're first starting in a new country. It tells you how many people are there. I'm curious if 1 billion people still live in India and China, or if something else happened to them. I'm surprised the Soviet Empire exists with only a couple of satellites. Kazakhstan, sure, and that's kind of it? Yeah, Estonia got the rest. And then Iran apparently formed an empire. Oh, goody. I guess they finally developed their nukes or something. Alright, well, we fully infected Australia, but apparently we can't actually get on the boats or on the planes for reasons I haven't figured out. Why aren't we actually going anywhere? We're stuck. We're stuck in Australia. I don't... Why are we stuck? I think we have to get the Trojan, the fungus vacation. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Alright, pick it up. Go to, Go to the divided states of America. Let's see what we can get there. Anything? Okay, well, we're in a new country, so at least we have some potential to get around. Let's also go to China. Okay, Mushroom Worm Awareness Day. The Brazilian Empire has already shut down their airports. Good news, I can hijack your planes. Let's go for vacation advertising and increase our Trojan plane chance, since apparently that is my only way of getting around. Let's go to Brazil. Huh. I'm not sure why the planes aren't working as intended. Is there a bug? I mean, I don't know if it's a bug. It could be. I'm just trying to pick a few strategic, like, central locations that might be able to spread to other places. Okay, we did get into Kazakhstan, so we are starting to get around. I just can't actually use the planes. Let's go to Swedish England. Also, travel addiction for even more. Also, bird spores for some more air transmissions, since I apparently need all the help I can get. And also, some land transmission from the birds would be helpful. I could use some more severity. Let's go for memory mushrooms. Again, just more DNA as I spread. Let's see. I'm going to go to Italy. Again, just a few central locations should be helpful. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. That helps. Okay, now what? Stronger mushrooms. Metal Gear Spore. Spores are extra stealthy. Oh, instead of Metal Gear Solid, do they hide in a box? Decreasing the chance of the host noticing them. I don't know if I necessarily want to get rid of my severity, though. We'll go for mushroom manipulation. That leads to immaturity, which gives me even more goodies. Gambling fungus. Mushrooms manage to affect the risk-reward system of the brain, leading to unsafe choices being made, increasing mutation chance. Could be useful, but let's make sure we get even more transmission via the birds. Hey, the birds migrated, apparently, or something. We got around a bit more. Yay. Bird swarm. Rural infectivity, infecting 5 random countries. Let's go to Madagascar, since apparently the airport has been shut down there. We want to start making some progress in our islands. That leads to flight formation. The spores form together to create odd bird-esque formations, increasing air transmission, Trojan plane chance, rural infectivity, and it infects a random country. I have yet to see, like, I've only seen a handful of planes actually getting infected, and they're, wait, no, never mind. They're all Trojan planes. These lines are just the Trojans. I have yet to see a single infected actual plane the normal way, though. So what the heck happened? I don't even know, man. I don't even know. Cold resistance, drug resistance, go. Let's go to Greenland or something. I wonder if Greenland has, like, a lot of population now or something. A lot of these alternate reality kind of scenarios like to buff up Greenland just because of the lulz. Snow shield. Spores cover themselves in snow. I don't think I need that, but I do think I want the mutation chance. Adoration, obsession, and schizophrenia. Fatal fevers. Don't need that. We'll go for adoration. Devotion. Host is entirely devoted to helping spread spores to everyone they know or don't know. Doesn't matter to them. And transcendence. The overdose of oxytocin and vasopressin forces host to a permanent state of worship, treating the mushroom worm as a type of god. All right, what are we missing? Cuba is an island. Most of these islands over here. And the Estonian Empire is actually withholding fairly well, all things considered. Let's go to the Philippines. Doop-a-doop-doop. I guess we could do Transcendence? Sure, we'll do that. Also, some more... Let's go for some mutation chance. Why not? Let's have a little bit of fun with it. Just waiting on the Trojan Plains to finish the job, though. Okay, we actually are getting into a couple other countries. There we go. Let's go to Cuba. So did anyone see an infected plane anywhere? Because I don't think that I did. And if I didn't see an infected plane everywhere, then I have to think that something's bugged in this scenario. Which is unfortunate, because it is otherwise a pretty darn good scenario. Very well done. And I would be sad if it's actually flawed. Let's go ahead and reset the cure a little bit just for some extra score. All right, we're missing out on New Guinea still, also Japan. So one more Trojan plane is all we're looking for. We are in New Zealand. Field spores. We're getting a lot of free stuff. We could also get extra calming mushrooms to reduce severity, personality altering, extra pressure, worrying mushrooms, slowing down the cure progress. Guess we'll go ahead and pick that up. Insane mushrooms. Slows it down even further. Delirious mushrooms. Very rarely lethal, but it shuts down the cure more. Muscle mushrooms. Some spores get to the muscles, making it much harder for the host to move. Okay, again, slowing down that cure quite a bit. Brain eaters and tongue mushrooms. Mushrooms can sometimes fly out of the mouth. Ew. Gross. Let's go to Japan. All right, well, I think that's it. We just have to wait till we finish infecting the entire world with maximum infectivity. I guess we'll just go for some drug immunity and some genetic reshuffles to buy some more score, and then, there we go. Yeah, your medicine in Japan means nothing to me. So the entire world's infected now, right? No, the People's Republic of Korea is the last to survive. What a weird twist of fortune. All right, Transcendence victory. The mushroom worm has enslaved humanity. Okay, I mean, okay, I like this scenario quite a bit. There's a load of customization. Like, well frickin' done. I'm almost positive your planes are bugged. There's so much air transmission you're supposed to invest in, and I can't get any, so you have to rely entirely on Trojan planes and then just, like, local, neighboring, what am I trying to say? Neighboring infectivity and stuff, using birds or just the air. But where the heck would the air transmission, man? Feel a little bit robbed on that one. Figure that out, because that's kind of a crippling bug. Everything else, mwah, beautiful. Love it. 577 days, 23% cure progress, 43,479 points, leading to 2 stars. It is a good scenario, so I will say yes. I just hope that the author does watch this and fixes that bug, and then it will be a superb scenario. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, then be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, hit that notify bell, and send me your recommendations on Discord. I will see you guys next time.